And through the drifts the snowy cliffs did send a dismal sheen, nor shapes of men nor beasts we ken, the ice was all between. Stratters, Magic the Gathering is like an essay. There's an intro, a body, and a conclusion. The intro is a thought experiment of, what do you think? You gotta build a deck based on some kind of idea. You have to detail that idea in the body of your essay, and in the conclusion, you have to double check your intro and your body to make sure everything works. That's how I've always approached deck building. The problem I've had is in the past, I remember when I was a kid, I tried making a Zuberi Golden Feather deck, and white wasn't very good at being a Griffin deck. It turns out there's Griffins of more colors than just white, and there really wasn't that many Griffins, and white wasn't really good at making small flying creatures back in Mirage. So if you want to build a deck, this is a deck building tip. I'll try to do one of each color. I haven't planned out the script for each color yet. But let's start with white because Wooburg starts with W, white. It's the first color in the color pie. So let's go through like 50 cards really quick. Just try to define what white is. So you can build a deck based on an idea. So 50 ideas for your deck. And if the idea I said isn't the idea you were thinking of, pick a different color for your deck because the idea you're thinking of was probably a mistake for wizards, like printing Drain Life in black, even though black doesn't like gaining life, or didn't, back in the old days. So let's go over just all 50. I'm not even going to number them. I just want to go through them really quick. Like, for example, the mistakes you can make is, say, like Pure Lace. You can change the color of a spell to white. That's really not what white does. If you look at the history of Magic the Gathering, like Alabaster Potion, white was pretty bad at gaining life. I think it was Scent of Jasmine that really put white over the top. The Urza block, revealing 5 or 6 white cards in your hand, getting 10 to 12 life just for 1 mana. I know Congregate was really good at multiplayer, just gaining 20 life for white. White didn't used to be second place. Didn't used to be first place in the color pie for life gaining. It used to be in second place. First place belonged to green. Green had Stream of Life, which is gain X life for 1X, and Alabaster Potion was gain X life for 2X. So white was inferior. So the color pies change over time, but this is kind of an update of how color pies are. So let's start out with let's just pick 50 cards that define white. So first off, white can block multiple creatures, like 100-headed Kami, Avatar of Hope, just can block multiple creatures. White has Festival. White used to be inferior at Fogs. So Festival, you didn't know if your opponent was going to attack you, but you had to cast a Festival before your attack phase, and then if your opponent wasn't thinking of attacking you at all, you just wasted a card. So it was secondary in Fogs back in the day. I'm going to go through all the old school definitions of white, and then I'll go through how white's moved since then. So I calculated 35 ways that white was defined back in the old Magic, like pre-modern days, and it actually expanded its influence after modern started. So white has a Divine Intervention. The game's over is considered a tie. White had alternate win conditions. Basically, it's the you don't lose the game sort of cards is what white's good at. Wing Shards. Target player sacrifices attacking creature. Black is best at destroying creatures. White's maybe third best. So it can't actually just say destroy target creature. It can destroy an attacking creature. Other ways, once again, can't destroy target creature. It can destroy a tapped creature through Vengeance. What an ugly picture. There we go. Radiance Judgment. Destroy a target creature with power 4 or greater. Cycling 2. There's other cards like this too. Wrath of God. Ugh. There's also Day of Judgment. Wrath of God destroys all creatures and they can't be regenerated. That's what Buried means. Day of Judgment just destroys all creatures. Retribution of the Meek. Destroy all creatures power 4 or greater. It's not just Radiant's Judgment. It can mass destroy creatures of power 4 or greater. My favorite was Intrepid Hero, actually. It was great for multiplayer and making people not attack you. Save for Commander. Divine Transformation. So these +X enchantments are part of White's repertoire. Also, there's +0/+X instants like Iron Will. I'll go away. Holy Strength. White has enchantments that increase power but increase toughness more than power. There's also like +1/+3 ones like Conviction. Holy Strength is my favorite. Holy Armor doesn't increase power at all but just increases toughness. Glorious Anthem. There's the puns. There's Crusade. There's even some for 4 that for creatures you gain +1/+1. White's good with Anthem effects. They made a Gaia's Anthem for color shifting for green just to be cute. Morale. All attacking creatures get +1/+1 till end of turn. Can you believe this was like competing against Crusade? This is 3 mana, temporary bonus of attack and power. It's 1 mana these days. So it can temporarily boost your team, your entire team. It can also permanently boost the toughness of your entire team, not just a Holy Armor, but all of your creatures get to put toughness boosts. Healing Salve. White's good at preventing damage. Unfortunately, Healing Salve's the worst of the cycle. The first cycle ever made, Magic the Gathering. White gets gain 3 life. Blue gets draw 3 cards. Clearly, blue's the best. Probably the most powerful card in all of the whole Magic the Gathering is Ancestral Recall. Wall of Swords. White has good walls. I don't know. Red has some better walls back in the day, but as far as just good walls, I don't like this picture. Just creatures with Defender. There we go. So one of the ways, since it just can't just destroy target creature, pinging, attacking, or blocking creatures, just dealing direct damage to attacking or blocking creatures. It can't ping like a Prodigal Sorcerer like Tim can, but it can go second best. White's good at first strike. Like Tundra Wolf can take down. Oh, shut up. 1/1 first strike for 1 white mana. Can take down. I'll just do White Knight. Could just take down a Ball Lightning for 1 mana, and I think it's the only color creatures that can take down a Ball Lightning for only one mana. Where was I? Dust to Dust. White can destroy artifacts pretty well. There was sort of a change in the color pie. Green had Tranquility, which is destroy all enchantments. And white had Dust to Dust, which is just very good artifact destruction. Since then, they've moved on to Naturalize, being like a green disenchant, and white being a mass enchantment destroyer. I'll get to that in later. Oust. Tucking creatures. That's... I guess that should be in the new pile, huh? Not the old pile. For some reason, white has a fascination with protecting land. Consecrate Land. Terrible card from Limited. Makes a land indestructible. Land Tax. Land Tax is just a pet card of mine. It's unbelievable. I love the picture. Just grabbing 3 lands from your library into your hand just because your opponent has more. I don't know why I don't see this in Commander in like every single white deck ever. For some reason, white just likes enchantments. Cards like Opalescence just turn enchantments into creatures, power and toughness. I don't think I have any other way of explaining that. Preventing damage to creatures entirely. Rebels has a 4-mana creature that just prevents all damage. Dawn Elemental is my favorite by far. Also, he's not legendary. Spirit Link. So back before there was a card called Lifelink, there was a card called Spirit Link and Legends, I think. Yep. And whenever a creature deals damage, you gain that much life. I love the picture. Another way of destroying creatures, since just can't just destroy a target creature outright. Just make a creature not attack or block. There's also Arrest for 1 white, 2 colorless, can't attack or block, or use its abilities. White's good at silence effects, like silence. I like Orum's Chant. Orum's Chant's not legal in Modern. The price of Orum's Chant's just crashed in the last couple of years. I think people just forgot to use the Isochron Scepter Orum's Chant combo. Don't use the Isochron Scepter Orum's Chant combo. That's mean. But you can try it. Just giving creatures protection from colors, there's way too many examples to list. I'm just going to use my favorite, which is White Ward. Just boom, the creature has protection from my color. Replenish. I know how I said just they like enchantments for white. White also likes returning enchantments into play. Replenish, yeah, it's like a bannable card. You can just get like just tons of enchantments in your graveyard and then replenish them back. White blue was pretty powerful during Urza block because of that. Just tapping creatures out. Master Decoy. I think there's like 3 or 4 functional reprints of Master Decoy. Just the 1 white, 1 white, tap target creature to 1/2. They have many names. This is the funniest one and the best picture. For some reason, people don't play with cards like Knighthood and Sarah's Blessings. I just love these kind of cards, just one-ofs, say in a commander deck. You'll never put multiple copies in them because you don't want multiples in your hand. The card's not powerful enough to put multiples in the deck. But just, I don't know, just putting like one of these. Just give all your creatures vigilance in a commander deck. I just like it. People don't even see these cards. They don't remember it. Another way white likes enchantments, Enlightened Tutor. Just searching your library for an artifact or an enchantment card, putting it on top of your library. There's Idyllic Tutor too. Holy Day. For some reason, white got Fog just later on. To prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. They used to be second. Where's the picture I'm looking for? But now white has... There we go. There's the right picture. White has tons of excellent fogs, and I think they beat green in fogs these days. So that's the old Magic. Forget about Oust. All right. So new Magic defines white. Let me show you just where it's moved. Say Oblivion Ring. Just exiling a card and it's an enchantment. There's several Oblivion Rings these days. They didn't used to be in Magic the Gathering. So that's why I say where white's growing into. Second Sunrise. Just mass belching cards that were put in the graveyard that turn specifically. That's new in Magic the Gathering. Searching for Planeswalkers and Planeswalkers destroying tapped creatures. That's new for Magic the Gathering. One thing I don't really understand why Magic the Gathering moved to this is just divine reflecting cards. So, no, sorry, not divine reflection, divine deflection. Preventing the next X damage dealt to you or permanents dealt to you this turn. And if damage is prevented that way, it deals that much damage to target creature or player. I don't know what happened. It used to be reverse damage. But somehow white just changed. White just moves two different paths. Mark Rosewater said, I guess a couple of years ago, that Magic's constantly trying to evolve its color pie. And they constantly try new things. So you might find like old color pie like reverse damages and add reflect damages to it, trying to combine the colored pie that way. Mirroring Crusader. The first two double strike creatures were red, but for some reason white is good at double strike these days. I don't know why. It's just better. Mass destruction of enchantments. Used to belong to green. I don't know why they changed it to white. White's really good at destroying enchantments. White can exile enchantments too. Misa Enchantress. Enchantresses used to be just green. Then they put in like Ephemerif Enchantress, like a white-green, both white and green Enchantress. And now they have like Core Spirit Dancer for Boggles, for example. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you can draw a card. Morningtide. One word, kind of like Morningtide the set. Remove all cards and all graveyards from the game. Why is white good at destroying the graveyard? I don't know. They just moved it there. Suntail Hawk. So remember what I was saying, like, I wish Zuberi Golden Feather was better because White's flyers were more like Sarah Angel. Like, big flying fatties were pretty cool, but the small flying fatties weren't that cool. Like, Osei Vultures was White 1, and it's a 1-1 flying. Well, they got better. In fact, recently they got much better. Healer's Hawk. 1 mana, 1-1, flying, and lifelink. So, White's flyers have gotten better. I think that's changed. One thing I also think that's changed is blinking has gotten much better for White. Blue had Ghostly Flicker. Excellent blinking spell. Now, Ephemerate is just tearing it up in Pauper these days. Blinks a creature, rebounds. You can do it on a Mold Drifter. It's a total power card. Indestructibility. It belongs to White. It was an experiment. They threw in, Darksteel Colossus. They threw in Darksteel Gargoyle. The original Indestructible they thought was so powerful. They threw it on like 7 mana creatures and 11 mana creatures because, well, it's kind of like if you put it like on Indestructibility on a 1/1 creature, then it's like a 1/10 creature. And, how much casting cost would a 1/10 creature cost? I don't know, 5? Like, Indestructibility would add like 4 mana to the creature. Like, that's not fair. They calmed down after Darksteel Colossus and they gave White Indestructibility. Pretty cool. Leonin Arbiter. Taxing the opponent. You have to pay 1 extra, you have to pay 2 extra. Leonin Arbiter, I would say, is kind of bugged in Magic the Gathering Online because you have to click the card in order to pay 2 mana, where, if it's just in play, the computer itself should ask you if you want to pay 2. So people accidentally crack fetches all the time to Leonin Arbiter. There's like Tithe Taker now. There's lots of taxing effects. White Sun's Venus. White Sun's Zenith. Red was good at Goblin Offensive, just putting tons of tokens into play. White got better than red. This is just something kind of new. Avenging Arrow. Destroy target creature that dealt damage this turn. Black had like Assassinate, just bad black removal, and they just gave bad black removal to White. Lastly, just any creature with prowess. Anything. Monastery Mentor. I can't spell monastery. Oh no! As well with an E. Prowess, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a 1/1 white monk creature token with prowess into the battlefield. Yeah, so powerful, it deserves to be restricted in Vintage. So that's how white is now. Used to be quite large, and now defining white's quite larger. I hope this was instructional for you. Thanks for watching. Friends, Wool of Ice Cream has a Facebook page. Check it out and send your fan mail to Gmail or ideas for new content. And see my previous videos at Udioshlet. Not Wall of Ice Cream yet. Get to 100 subscribers and I'll change it to Wall of Ice Cream. Or you can come play with me on PlayStation. My username is Wool of Ice Cream and see me on Twitch, Wool of Ice Cream. I might be there on Sundays. Thanks for watching.